Hello friends, in this lecture we are going to start a new module in Catia, that is 3D modeling. In the 3D modeling we will learn about the first basic command, that is called pad. So first of all we will learn how to go to the 3D mode. To go to the 3D mode, I click on the start button, click on the start and go to mechanical design. In the mechanical design I go to part design mode. Enter any part name and click on OK. And then click on View and Ground. And then we can click on this Fit View and then Isometric. And now on the right side we can see a lot of 3D commands. We can see the commands such as pad, pocket, shaft, groove, hole, etc. So we will learn how to create pad. So we can find this pad tool into this toolbar, click on this pad. If we click on this arrow beside it, we can see we have three options: pad, drafted fill pad and multi-pad. So I click on this pad. We can also go to pad option from this insert option. So I click on this cancel and click on insert, go to sketch based features and click on pad. So in this pad window it is highlighting. First thing it is showing type. So in the type if I click on this arrow, we have dimension, up to next, up to last, plane, surface. So we are going to start with this dimension. So click on dimension. And then we need to insert the value of length. So right now I am taking this value as default. And then there is the option of profile or surface. So right now it is showing no selection. Because we don't have any profile or any sketch right now, so we have to create any sketch. So to create this sketch, I click on this option of create sketch. Click on this. And now we have to select a plane. Suppose I select this XY plane. So click on this XY plane. And now we are in the sketch mode. In this sketch mode, we need to create some sketch. So first of all, we are going to learn how to create a basic cylinder in the Catia software. So to create a cylindrical profile, we need to create a circle. So I go to circle tool and click on this circle. And then I select this origin as a center. So pick this origin, click on this origin and give it some radius. So right now I am taking this value as default. So click on this. Insert any value of radius and then I click on this option of exit workbench. So we are going to exit from this sketch mode. So click on this exit workbench. And now we can see in this preview it is showing a 3D profile. So to have a better view of this, I click on this preview button. Click on preview and then click on fit view. Let's place this. And now we can see we have a profile of a cylinder. On this window toolbar, we can control the length of this cylinder. So we have this option of length. So length is the height of the cylinder. So we can control this value. Suppose I insert this value 15, press enter, and now we can see the value is decreased. So in this way we can create the basic 3D profiles. So if we want to make some change into this cylinder, I go to this model tree. We can see the option of pad 1. Make a double click on this pad 1. So now in the part definition window, we can make some change into this. So we had learned about this length option and then we have limit option. So we can pick this limit option, pick this limit bar and we can drag it up and down. If I drag it upward, the length will increase. Drag it upward and click on preview button. And now we can see the length is increased. And if we drag it and we can drag it to the bottom like this and click on preview, now we can see the length is decreased. We can see one more arrow, that arrow is specifying the direction of this pad. Right now we can see the direction is going upward. If we want to make this direction in the downward, click on this arrow, click on this, and now we can see the arrow is showing downward. We can also select this option from this command window reverse direction. Click on this reverse direction and I click on this preview. And right now we can see the direction is going downward. And click OK. So in this way we can create the basic pad. So I select this pad, make a right click and click on delete. And click OK. And now I am going to make some more profiles. So I click on this fit view and once again go to pad tool. In this pad tool, click on this sketch option and select this XY plane. So on this plane, I draw a rectangle. So go to the rectangle tool, click on this rectangle and suppose I take center rectangle. In the center rectangle, the center will be the origin. So select this origin as a center and give this rectangle some dimensions. So right now I am taking this rectangle of any random dimensions. Draw a rectangle like this. So our sketch is completed and then click on exit workbench. And then give this rectangle some height. So suppose I give this rectangle height, I insert this value 2, press enter. Okay, so now we have given this height. Now once again I go to pad tool. So click on this pad and click on sketch. And this time I will select a different plane. So we are going to see what will happen when we will select different planes. So in the previous pad we have used XY plane, and in this pad I am going to select this plane, that is ZX plane. So click on this ZX plane. We can also select this plane from here, ZX plane. So click on this plane and now we can see the sketch has been oriented perpendicular to the ZX plane. So I am once again drawing the rectangle. So I go to center rectangle, select this origin as a center, select this origin. Okay, let's once again select this and then give this rectangle some dimensions. I draw a rectangle like this and click on exit workbench. And then give this rectangle a height. Suppose this time I give this length 10 and press enter. Or we can also click on preview. And now we can see this time the height of the pad is going onto the rightward side. So if I pick this limit button, click on this limit arrow and drag it. Now we can see the preview that it is going in the right side. Similarly, we can also take it to the left side in the reverse direction like this. So click on this preview and then we can change the direction. Click on reverse direction and click on preview. So in the previous, when we selected XY plane, the pad was going upward. In this time, when I am selecting ZX plane, it is going in the rightward. It means the pad always go in the perpendicular direction. Okay, so I can click OK. Instead of selecting the planes, we can also create pad onto the surfaces. So I select this pad 3, make a right click and click on delete. And click OK. So I click on pad tool once again. And then I click on this sketch option. And instead of selecting any plane, I am going to select a surface. So I select this top surface. Click on this top surface. And then I draw a circle. So draw a circle anywhere onto this plane like this. And click on exit workbench. And now insert the value of length. So the value I can take 10 and click on preview. Okay, 10 is very higher value. Let's decrease this value. Take this value 4, preview. So take this value 4 and press enter. And now we can see this time we have created a pad onto this top surface. So we can have a better view by zooming onto this like this. Similarly, we can also create pad on any other surface. So I click on this pad tool and this time I will select this side surface. So I click on this side surface and click on yes. Okay, once again let's cancel this. I click on this pad option and then click on this surface, select the side surface. Click on fit view and once again I select a circle onto this surface like this and click on exit workbench. And now we can see this time the pad is on the right direction. Click OK. So in this way we can use the pad tool. Hello friends, in this lecture we will continue with pad tool and we will know about some more options in the pad. So if I go to this pad tool, click on this pad, we can see the first option it is highlighting is the type. So in the previous lecture we had learned about dimension type. And if I click on this arrow, we have up to next, up to last, up to plane and up to surface. So we will learn about all these options. So to understand all these options in the detail, I click on this cancel and then go to file option, click on open. So in your project file, go to this option of up to next, click on this and click open. And then we can click on this ground view and then we can rotate this. So rotate this model. Now in this model we can see we have a circle on a plane and then we have already created a 3D profile on any other plane. So how we have created this? We will cover this later when we will know about datum planes. So we are going to create a pad that is up to this next surface. So in this types of situation, we can use this reference option. So I click on this pad tool and then, so in the profile, since we have already a sketch, so we don't need to create any sketch. Click on this window of selection profile and then go to this circle and click on this circle. So now we have selected this circle and right now we can see this direction is going in the leftward. But we want to make this pad onto the rightward direction. So click on this reverse. So the direction is changed. And then in the type option, click on this arrow and click on up to next. Click on this and now in this preview it is showing it has created a pad up to the next surface. Click on this preview and click OK. And now we have a better view of this pad. So let's rotate this like this. So we have created a pad that is up to next surface. So in this way we have taken the references. Once again go to file option and click on open. This time I will select up to last. Select this and click on open. And then go to ground. So in this profile we can see we have a circle and then we have two pad. It means we have two 3D profiles. And I am going to create a pad that is up to next reference. So I go to pad option. Okay, so I go to pad option. In this pad we need to select a profile. So click on this profile and click on this circle. Now the direction is going in the left. Click on reverse direction. And then click on this type and go to up to last. Click on this up to last and click on this preview. So basically in this option it has taken the last reference. So this 3D profile is the first reference and this is the second reference and this is the last reference. So it has selected a profile that is up to the last reference and click OK. So if I rotate this, we can have a better view of this pad. So in this way we can create the reference pad. So once again I go to file option and click on open. So next option is we have up to plane. So select this up to plane and click on open. Click ground. So in this we have a sketch and then we have a datum plane. So let me rotate this geometry to have a better view. So I am going to create a pad that is up to this next reference. So these two sketches and this plane are different plane. So if I go to this top view from here, we can see this is the sketch and this is the plane. So once again I go to isometric view and then go to pad option, select this profile and select this complete profile. In the type, go to up to plane. And now we have to select the plane up to which we want to create this pad. So I select this plane. Now we can see this plane 1 is highlighting when I take the mouse onto this plane. So select this plane 1 and click on preview and click OK. So in this way we have created a pad that is up to this plane. To have a better view of this, I go to this top view from here, click on top view, and now we can see this pad has been created up to this plane. So the last option in this pad option is up to a surface. So go to open and select this up to surface and click open. Click on ground. So in this we have a profile. So we have a 3D and then we have a sketch. And I want to create a pad up to this next surface. So I go to this option of pad and then let's rotate this first to have a better view like this and then zoom in. Drag this and then in the selection profile select this rectangle and then in the type I select this option of up to surface. And now we have to select the surface up to which we want to create this pad. So first let's rotate this and then select this surface. Click on this surface and then click OK. So now in this way we have created a pad that is up to this next surface. Hello friends, in this lecture we will continue with pad tool and we will know about some more options in the pad. In the previous lectures we had learned how to create pad up to the references. So in this lecture we will know how to change different directions in the pad. So to understand this in the more depth, I go to this pad tool. So before this, click on this option of fit view and then click on isometric and then click on pad tool and then go to this selection profile. Click on this create sketch. I select this XY plane. So onto this plane, I draw a circle. Go to the circle tool and draw a circle like this. Click on this exit workbench and then insert this value 5 and click on preview. So in this we can see we have limit 1 option. So this limit 1 is basically an arrow to drag the height. So if I go to in the bottom option, we can see the option of thick, mirror extend, and we have one more option that is called more. So we will know about these directions. So if I click on this mirror extend, make a check on this, and now we can see it has created a limit 2 and click on preview. So now it has created pad on the both directions. So the pad is going upward and also it is going downward. And the direction and the length of this pad we can change from here. Since this is symmetric or mirror type of extend, so the value of pad will be same in both directions. So I insert this value, suppose I say take this value 7, press enter. And now we can see the pad value has increased. To have a better view, I click on this. Suppose I select this right view. And now we can see the datum planes are at the middle and the pad is going upward and the downward. So in this way we can create the mirror pad. Once again I go to pad tool, make a double click on this, select this isometric from here, and now we can also specify different values in the both directions. I make a uncheck on this mirror extend and then go to more options. In this more option, we can see we have a first limit and then we have a second limit. In the bottom, we have normal to direction and we can also specify a different directions. So we will cover it later, how to create extrude in different directions. So right now we can see we have first limit and second limit. So the first limit I am specifying up to the dimension. So I take this value 5 and then I go to second. So this limit 2 right now we can see it is highlighting in the bottom. So let's insert this value -3 and then click on preview. Okay, let's take this value positive. So select this value positive and click OK. So now it has created a pad in both directions. So if I go to this right view from here, now we can see the value of pad is higher on the top side while it is lesser in the bottom side. I go to once again pad, make a double click. So we can change this value. Now we can see it is showing 3 in the bottom, 5 in the top. We can also create the pad with respect to the references by taking up to next, up to last, and then similarly here up to next, up to last like this. So in this way we can create pad in 2 different directions. I click on this less option, click on this less, and then I cancel this. So click on cancel. I select this pad once again and let's delete it. So before this I go to isometric view and then click on pad. And then once again I go to sketch like this. I draw a circle and then click on exit workbench. Click on this preview. So now we can see we have a cylindrical profile. So in this we have one more option that is called thick feature. So I make a check on this thick feature and then zoom in here like this. So by this option we can create a thick feature. So let's insert this value of thickness. So right now the thickness is 1 and click on preview. And then let's rotate this. Now we can see we have a hollow profile. So we have inserted a value of thickness. Now we can specify this thickness in 2 directions, thickness 1 and thickness 2. So we can specify the thickness 2 as 1. Let's see the change. So it has created a thickness in inside direction and also the outside direction. Okay, so make a double click. And then we have a neutral fiber and merge end that is for the surfaces. Okay, so in this way we can specify different values of thickness and click on cancel. Hello friends, in this lecture we will continue with the pad tool and we will know about different directions in the pad. So till now we had learned that pad is always created in the perpendicular direction. So let's understand this with more examples. So I go to pad option and then I click on this sketch and select this top plane. On this plane I go to line tool and then make a double click on this line. And suppose I draw a line like this. So I want to draw an inclined line. So let's pick this origin. Okay, we can pick any point, pick this origin and I draw a line like this. And once again I want to draw an inclined line. So I draw a line like this and then a vertical line. Okay, we need to take this point once again. Press escape and then go to line. I want to select this end point. So click on this end point and then I want to draw this line up to this reference. So take the reference of this horizontal like this. Click OK and once again one more line to close the sketch. So now the sketch is closed like this. And then I click on exit workbench. and then give this feature some height like this and click OK. And now we can see the pad has been created in the perpendicular direction to the plane of XY. So this is the XY plane we have. So this is the plane we have onto which we have created this pad. So to understand this in more depth, let's go to this top view. So now in this top view we can see we have a tapered geometry. It means we have a surface that is at some angle. So onto this surface we are going to create a pad. So I go to isometric view and then let's rotate this. So this is the tapered geometry we have. And then I go to pad option and click on surface, and this time I will select this top surface. So onto this surface I will create any profile. So let's go to circle tool and draw a circle like this. Okay, so we can take this circle of any dimension and then click on exit workbench. Give it some height and click on OK. And then let's rotate this to the front view. And now we can see, let's zoom in here like this and click on normal view. And now we can see the angle between this surface and this pad we have created is the 90 degree. So we can understand this from here. The pad is always created in the perpendicular direction. Okay, so now we can also create pad with respect to any path. So to understand this in more depth, I go to file option and click on open. And select this file we have, that is pad along path. Select this file and click on open. So in this file I go to this view and click on ground. Now we can see we have a circle and then we have created a line. And now I want to create this pad with respect to this line. So for this I go to pad and then I go to surface. So for the profile I select this circle. So this select this semicircle and then go to more option. In the more option right now we can see it is showing normal to profile. So I make a uncheck on this normal to profile and then click on references. In the references we need to select a profile for the reference, and I am going to select this line as a reference profile. So first let's drag this and then select this line and click on preview. Okay, we need to reverse the direction. Click on reverse direction and then click OK. So now if I rotate this, so let's rotate this geometry like this. Now we can see this pad is going along this line. So I go to this pad to make a double click and then insert some value. So insert some value of the length. I insert this value 50 and click on OK. Now we can see the pad value is increased. So once again make a double click. I insert this value 100 and click OK. So now we can see this pad is going with respect to this line. So right now we can see it is not normal to the surface. It is going along this line. So in this way we can create pad in some different directions. Hello friends, in this lecture we will continue with pad tool and we will know about some common mistakes while using the pad command. So there are some common mistakes that generally most students repeat. So we are going to learn how we can avoid those problems. So the first thing in the pad should be that geometry should not overlap. And now in this sketch we can see we have a series of lines. So we have this line 1. Okay, let's go to this draw tool. So we have this line 1 and this line 2 and this line 3. And all these lines are intersecting. But we can see these lines are overlapping. It means these lines are extending beyond this closed profile. So in Catia, we have to make sure the geometry should not overlap. if the geometries will be overlap, it will not create a pad. So let's understand this in the Catia software. I go to pad and click on this sketch and click on any plane. And then I go to line tool, make a double click and draw some sketch like this. So I draw a line, a vertical line and then a horizontal line like this. And then from this point I draw a line like this. So we have created the profile. And then click on escape. And then I go to exit workbench. So now it is showing that there is some error in the sketch. So the selected sketch contains several open profiles. So to create any pad, we need a profile that is fully closed. So it is showing the problem. It means we need to make some changes into this profile. Okay, so it is asking us to, do you want to use the selected sketch anyway? So when we select this option, click on yes. Now we can see the proper pad is not creating. So if I click on this preview, we can see it is not creating a pad. So to avoid these types of problem, we need to make sure the geometries should not overlap. So I click on this cancel and then go to sketch once again. And then I go to trim option, click on quick trim, and then we need to remove this overlapping lines. So this line is overlapping. Select this line. Okay, make a double click on this quick trim and delete the extra part of these lines. Okay, now we have deleted all the overlapping lines. I can click on OK. And then click on preview. It will create a pad. And then click OK. So this is the first common mistake. So the second thing is, while creating the pad is, sketch should not be open for solid geometry. Whenever we create a pad, our sketch should be closed. So if our sketch is open, it will create a surface, not a solid profile. So in this example, we can see we have a rectangular profile, but this profile is not closed. It is open from these 2 points. So when we create a pad of this, it will create a surface. So let's go to Catia and understand this. So I go to this pad, make a right click and click on delete. Once again I go to pad and then select a plane. So onto this plane I go to line option, make a double click on this and draw a series of lines like this. From this first point select the line. Okay, once again line from this point like this and again a line. Okay, once again we need to select this end point of the line. So I go to line and select this end point and one more time line like this. So this time I don't want to select this end point, so I pick this line up to this end point. Okay, so this is an open profile. And then I go to exit workbench. So when I make a click on this exit workbench, it will show that feature definition arrow. It is showing that this sketch is an open sketch. So do you want to use the sketch anyway? So I can click yes. So when I will select this yes option, it will create a surface profile. So I click on preview. Right now it is showing the error and click on OK. So in this way we need to solve this problem. So to solve this problem, once again I go to sketch and then we need to create this sketch as a closed sketch. So pick this endpoint and drag it up to the next point. So to create this as a closed sketch and then click exit workbench. Okay, it is once again an open profile, so we have to go to once again sketch and then trim this line. And then once again I go to line from this endpoint up to this endpoint and click OK. And then it will create a solid profile. So I click on cancel for this pad. So the next thing in the pad is combination of sketch should be avoided. So we have a rectangle which is fully closed and then we have second profile. It may be open or it may be closed. So it will create a pad of both of the profile but we need to avoid the combination of sketches. So when we are working on any complex geometries, we need to make sure that first we will create a pad of a single sketch and then we will create the pad of another sketch in the second pad command. We need to avoid the combination of the sketches. And the fourth thing is intersection of the sketch should be avoided. So in this profile we can see we have a rectangle and then we have a circle. So this is the sketch 1 and this is the sketch 2. Both the sketch are fully closed sketch and we can see that it should create a pad of this. But the pad will not be created, it will show an error. So error will be shown because these two pads are intersecting each other. We can see this is the point of intersection. So we have to avoid the intersection of two sketches. Okay, so intersection of sketch should be avoided. So if we go to the software, we can understand this. I go to pad tool and select a plane. So click on this sketch and select a plane. So onto this I draw a rectangle, go to center rectangle and draw a rectangle like this of any dimension. And then I go to circle tool and draw a circle onto this line like this. So now we have two sketches that are intersecting each other. Click on exit workbench and now it is showing the sketch is self-intersecting. So the sketches are intersecting. So it will not create a proper pad of this. I click OK and then I go to sketch once again. So now we need to solve this sketch. So now there are different ways of improving this sketch. One thing we can do is click on this quick trim and we can trim this inside line. So when we trim this inside line, now we can see this rectangle is up to this circle. So these two are not overlapping or intersecting each other. Okay, so these two are intersecting but they are not overlapping. So in this case, it will once again show the error. So if I go to exit workbench, it will once again show the error. So I click on OK and then go to sketch. If you want to create a proper pad once again, so we need to trim some more feature. I go to quick trim. Now we can trim this inside part of the circle. And now we can see it will create a proper profile. And click on exit workbench and now we can see it is showing a proper pad. So click OK. So these are some of the common mistakes that usually students do while doing the pad. Hello friends, in this lecture we will know about pocket command. So pocket command is basically used to remove the material just like we do in the pad. So it is a kind of reverse of pad. So we can find this pocket command below this pad option. If I click on this arrow, we have pocket, draft field pocket and multi pocket. So to use this pocket feature, first of all we need to create some pad. So I go to pad option and then click on this sketch, select this top plane and then go to rectangle and draw a rectangle like this. We can take this rectangle of any dimensions and then click on exit sketch. So let's say I give this value 2 and click on preview and then click OK. And now I want to remove the material from this pad. So for this I go to this pocket option and click on this pocket. For this pocket we can see it is similar to the pad window. First thing, it is highlighting the limit option. So we have type like dimension, up to next, up to last, plane and surface. So these are all similar options as we have done in the pad tool. So now we need to create some sketch. So I go to sketch option and then select this top surface. And then I go to circle and draw a circle. So we need to draw a circle onto this pad. So draw a circle like this, give it some dimensions and then click on exit workbench. And then since we want to remove the material, so direction of this pad should be in the downward. Okay, and then click on preview and click OK. And now we can see the material has been removed. So that is the use of pad tool. Hello friends, in this lecture we will know about shaft tool. So shaft tool is used to make a revolve geometry. So we can find this shaft option in this below pocket option. So this is shaft. So I select this option of shaft. So now in this dialog window it is showing limit. So we have first angle and then second angle. And then we have profile. So first of all we need to create the profile. So to create the profile, I click on this sketch and then we have to select a plane. So I select this top plane and now let's create some sketch into this. So I go to this line option, make a double click on this line, select this origin as a first point, click here and then draw a series of lines. So let's say I draw a line like this. This is horizontal line and then continue making the lines. Okay, this end point should be this point. So once again I go to line option and select this first point and then once again make a double click on this line and then I want to make a line chain. So select this end point like this once again and then we have to make this sketch as a closed sketch. So once again I go to line tool, select this end point and then now we have to make it a closed. So drag it and then take the references like this. Okay, and then from this end point up to this end point. So click here. So now we can see the sketch is completed and then click on exit workbench. Now I want to revolve this geometry with respect to any reference line. So now we need to select the axis. So let's say I select this line as a axis of rotation. So select this line and now we can see in this preview our geometry has been rotated. So click on this preview option and then click OK. So let's rotate this and now we can see our sketch has been rotated. So let's zoom out to have a better view. So now to make some more changes into this option, I make a double click on this shaft, double click and then we can see we have limit of angle. So right now the angle is up to 60 degree. So we can change this angle value. Let's say I want to take this value up to 180. So select this 180 and then click on preview. And now since the 180 degree angle is half of 360, so it will create a half geometry. So let's rotate this. Now we can see our geometry has been rotated to 180 degree. Similarly, we can also select the second angle. So this second angle will define the limit too. And then we can create this thick feature. We can provide this a thickness. Click on this thick feature and then we can insert the thickness. We can also select this thickness with respect to a neutral fiber. Click on this neutral fiber and now we can see we have a neutral axis. Okay, so I make a uncheck on this and then click on OK. Now we have a thick feature. Now once again I go to shaft option, make a double click and then click on less, make a uncheck on this thick feature. Now I want to change the axis of rotation. So I go to this sketch, make a right click and then click on clear selection. This time I will select this axis as a rotation. So I will select this bottom axis and click on preview. Click OK. And now we can see our geometry has been rotated with respect to that bottom axis. So that is the difference of selecting the different axis of rotations. Now we can also create some more profiles. So once again I go to shaft option and then click on this sketch. So I select this complete geometry and then press delete. I go to the circle option. So basically this time I want to make a sphere. So to create this sphere I go to this circle option and then draw a circle like this. We can give this circle a radius, but before this we need to trim this half circle. So to trim this we need to create a vertical line. So we can create an infinite line. I go to infinite line option and then I want a vertical infinite line and then select this origin. After that we can click on this quick trim. I can select this half left portion and then select this line and delete. Now we have to make this a complete closed profile. So I go to line tool once again, select this first point of the line like this and select this end point. OK, and then click on exit workbench. Click OK and then select this axis as an axis of rotation. Make a select this axis and make a right click on clear selection, and this time I will select this axis as an axis of rotation and click on preview. So the angle this time I will want 360 degree and click OK. So in this way we can see our half circle has been rotated to 360 degree angle. So in this way we can create the revolve feature using the shaft option. Hello friends, in this lecture we will know about groove command. So groove command is used to remove the material by revolving the feature. So to understand this, first we will make some 3D object. So I go to this pad option and click on this sketch, and then I select this top plane, that is XY plane. So on this plane I will draw a circle. Go to this circle and draw a circle like this. So we can draw this circle of any radius and go to exit workbench. Give it some height. Let's say I give this height 5. Click preview. Okay, 5 is good. And click OK. And then once again, to create the groove we need to create some sketch. So I go to sketch option and then this time I will select the different plane. So I can select this plane, that is ZX plane. So select this plane, and to create the groove profile we need to take some references. So first of all click on this construction mode on and then go to project 3D elements. Select this bottom line and select this top line as a reference. Select this top line and click OK. Now we have two references, so I zoom in to have a better view, and then I draw a line. So once again the construction mode is on. I draw a line from this end point up to this end point, and then I turn off this construction mode, and now I want to create some groove profile. So we can create a rectangular profile. So go to this rectangle and draw a rectangle like this. So we can take this rectangle of any dimension and click on exit workbench. So now the profile is ready. So we have to make sure the profile is proper. So I go to this sketch, make a double click on this. So make sure this is a construction profile. Click on this and make it a construction. Okay, so now it is okay and click on exit workbench. Now we can see the profile clearly. And then I go to groove option. In this groove dialog window, we have to select the profile. So I select this profile, and then we need to select the axis of rotation. So the axis of rotation will be with respect to the axis of the cylinder. So the axis of the cylinder will be this axis. So take the mouse inside the cylinder, and now we can see the axis is highlighting. So select this axis and then insert the value of angle and click on preview and click OK. And now we can see our rectangular profile has been revolved 360 degree to cut this feature. So to make some more changes into this, I can make a double click on this groove, and then we can pick this angle 180 degree, and then we have similar option like we can create this as a thick feature. We can reverse direction like this and click OK. So if I rotate this, now we can have a better preview of removing the material. So in this way we can use the groove feature. Hello friends, in this lecture we will continue with pad command and we will know about some more options in pad. So if we go to this pad command, we can see one more option that is called draft filled pad. So to understand this, we need to create some geometry. So I go to this pad option. So before this, I click on this fit view and then click on this pad and then select this top plane. So click on this sketch and then click on this XY plane. On this plane, I draw a rectangle, a center rectangle. Draw it like this. So draw it at the origin and then give it some dimensions and then click on exit sketch. So give it some height. So let's say I give this height 2 and click on preview and click on OK. And after that I will go to the sketch tool. So click on this sketch and then go to and then select this top surface. So select this top surface. On this surface I draw a rectangle. So take the rectangle and draw a rectangle of any dimension and then click on exit sketch and then go to this pad option and click on draft filled pad. Select this option. Now in this dialog window, the first thing it is asking us to select the sketch. So we have already selected the sketch. After that it is asking us for the value of the length. So we can select this length value. So right now the value is 2. Let's say I take this value 4. After that it is asking us for the second limit. So in Catia it is necessary to apply the second limit in the draft filled pad. So suppose I select this top face as this second limit. Okay, after that it is asking us for inserting the value of draft angle. So draft angle is 5 degree and then neutral fiber. So this is first limit or second limit. So I am making check on this first limit. And then we can see we have 3 types of radius. Lateral radius, first limit radius and second limit radius. So radius value I want to decrease. I take this value 1 and then this 1 and this 1. Click on preview and click on OK. And now we can see in this geometry we have 3 types of radius. So this is top radius and this is the edge radius and it is the bottom radius. So all these radius represent different types of options in radius. Also we can see the draft. So draft is basically the angle of inclination. So if I want to make some changes into the geometry, go to this model tree and we can see we have draft, edge fillet and edge fillet. So I go to this draft option, make a double click and then I increase this value. So let's say I want this value 10 and click on preview and then click on OK. And now we can see the draft angle has been increased. In the similar way, we can also make some more changes in the fillet. So just click on fillet. Now we can see the edge fillet 1 is highlighting into this working space. Similarly, now the edge fillet 2 is highlighting. So make a double click on this edge fillet 1. In this dialog window, we can change the value of radius and the mode of tangency. So we can select tangency, minimal, intersection, etc. So I am selecting tangency and click OK. So in this way we can insert the draft filled pad.